Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. We got to pay these bills, so let go. Here's a word from our sponsors. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosted on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Whoop whoop!
Boop! Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started
Today. Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G, where we do not talk about politics, religion, or celebrities. We feel like there are enough vlogs, and other podcasts that talk about that stuff. Welcome to Season 2. Season 2 is Let's Talk About It. We picked this topic so our listeners can feel comfortable with coming onto our platform to express themselves without feeling like they're being judged. Also, Sipping with Maria and Tika G are looking for guests to be on the show. If you are interested, you may leave us a voicemail or fill out a guest request on our website, www.sippingwithmaria3tikagee.com. To leave a voicemail, just click on the microphone in the lower right-hand corner. Tika, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Would you like to introduce our guest for the evening, please?
Well, part 2 is Dana. Again, I know you guys listened to part 1, so this is part 2 of her discussing her family secrets. Hello, Dana.
Hey, Miss Tika. Hey, Miss Maria. How y'all doing today?
We're doing good. Before you get into your story, let me go ahead and give the listeners a refresher. Last week, Dana told us about her strange relationship with her mom, on how they didn't get along, and how she felt that her mom was part of the situation with her son's relationship as the reason why they don't get along. She also talked about a very, very dark secret that's been going on in her family for many, many years that the family is to this day is still trying to cover up. Dana, can we start from there, please?
Yeah, let's go in a little depth about the relationship between me and her. For years I've done everything, or that I thought I've done everything to try to please her, not knowing that, it's taking bits and pieces away from myself and me, being the person that I became. Yeah, like we spoke the last episode about the relationship between me and my son. So, with that being said, we're going to double back and just explain a little bit about the relationship between me and my son. The last time I really spoke with my mom I was at Greenbrier group home. And I was happy, I'm thinking she come to visit me, we can talk, and nevertheless coming to get me so we can go home. No, this woman told me to my face, I destroyed her family, so she no longer considered me her daughter. That really didn't register to me. Even, after I graduated high school, had my son, and the events that she, the road that she went down, we left Savannah, moved to San Antonio. My grandmother asked me to give her opportunity to be a grandmother to her first grandchild. And because of my grandma's side, that is the only reason why I allowed this lady to be in my son's life. So all of that just, trickled downhill, because when you have a very impressionable young boy growing up, he's still trying to find himself. And on top of that, I'm still learning, to be a parent and set rules and regulations within my household. And then I have my mother coming in, telling him, oh, I'm being too hard, I'm treating him like a little kid. Well, you are a little kid. You're going out here stealing, you're going out here, assaulting your teachers and stuff like that. I'm in and out of court. I'm going to classes, not to mention paying for classes. At the whole time, my mom is nowhere around. Not in that time did she go to court with me. Not in that time did she offer any type of payment, towards his probation. And we all know when we become parents, we give up almost everything for our child. But, during that time, I never really thought about the words that my mom spoke. And through everything that I have went through with her, she held those words true. I have come to realize my mom does not want to see me happy. She does not want to see me succeed. She do not want me to be better than what she is, or be able to get better or do better than what she has done with her life. I deal with the constant judgment from other family members because she see it fit to, anytime I'm doing bad, that's her picking up the phone to call and Dana doing this, Dana doing that. I get the phone calls and, I get to talking to and trying to be respectful. Well, you know what? That don't went out the window for me. I'm grown. I am not about to sit here and allow people that don't even much call to check up on me, don't even much know my daughter's name, never seen my child, but you family, you blood though, but you going to call and question what I'm doing with my life. Check yourself before you ring that phone, because you might not like what comes out the other, as a few I've already, heard. So, Vika, what you think about so far?
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. It's so many things that I can say, and I don't even think it's enough hours in a day for me to say what I really want to say, or it's just, a lack of a better word, is just trifling. that whole situation is just trifling, because to me, at the end of the day, let me take the focus off you real quick and talk about my situation real quick. My biological mother abandoned me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many times. She chose her friends and her relationship over me. Now, when she died, guess who paid for her funeral? The same person that you abandoned. Your friends didn't pay for it. Me and my children paid for your funeral. So at the end of the day, she gonna need you before you need her, because them other churn, they'll put her in a home and let her rot.
And that's another thing. Even with my sisters, one of my baby sisters in Georgia, and I have the middle girl, the middle sister here. Now, we're in the same city, but yet we don't speak. We don't communicate. The recent events dealing with my son, which brought us back communicating with each other, and we pinpoint the reason. She's been telling my mother she needs to get in contact with me. She needed my mom. My mom telling my baby sister she don't have my number. I barely pick up my phone, and vice versa. So it was like she kept trying to keep us three bickering and arguing with each other and not talking to each other. And once we came together, to try to work out a solution to help my son, we all three came to the conclusion that, a lot of this had to do with our mother.
Now, Dana,
why is it she want to keep us arguing with each other? That's
what I was about to ask you. Did y'all ask her? Is there any? Did anybody come up with any possibilities or the reason why she's trying to keep her children away from each other?
We have no clue. And another question that seems to be a puzzle to us as well. My mother does not intervene in my two sisters' lives or her kids' lives the way she intervenes in mine. Why is that? I'm the oldest.
Do you think it's
You know,
jealousy?
I've had a couple of other family members tell me that, but it's hard for me to even grasp, you know, how my mother would be jealous of me. She should be proud of me out of anything. You know, I held, you know, when I became of age, I made sure we were back together, and that was my only goal. It wasn't about recognition, it's about getting my family back together. No matter who it was or how it was done, it needed to be done. But we were together, but yet still so far apart and steady moving apart from each other, even farther. Now, with me and my sisters, you know, I just had to tell them, look, we have to come up with better communication with each other. You know, y'all have kids, you know, we're aunties to each other's children, but yet some of the kids don't really know how we are with with each other, how we are as a family.
Right.
You know, so it's like now, you know, I gave up the relationship with my mother. I'm working on the relationship with my sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's, you know.
Y'all need to stick together, y'all. Especially with the kids being involved, you need to have more time with the nieces. And there aren't any boys, is it? It's just all girls?
No, it's just us three girls. And well, my sister Hope, she has twin brothers. She has twin brothers. We love him, you know, but you know he's going through the gender thing, and hey, I'm happy for you. But she doesn't have a relationship with her brother.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I just want to commend you, Dana, for I guess you keep trying, but you're keeping it moving at the same time, and so I commend you for that. I know that you want some sort of better family structure, you know, like how I guess a family is supposed to look like, but it really sounds like you've done your best in trying to maintain yourself and your children. I know your son's situation was different, but it sounds like, you know, you've tried your best. You put in your all without stopping.
And I can't stop. You know, I have one more that's up under my roof, and I'm trying to get her to that point. And just like, you know, the same thing applies to her. College is not for everybody, but baby, just graduate. That's all I have.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, these days, I know how it was when I was in college. I enjoyed my college life as well as, you know, when I'm home with the kids, I deserve that parent life. But at the same time, it's a struggle and a juggle. And I commend any parent, whether you male or female, that steps up to that plate to you know, get that juggle on. Because it takes time, it takes patience, and it also takes a lot of prayer.
That it does. Prayer, and more prayer.
Yep, and that is the motto. Each day I wake up, thinking every day I wake up.
And you should. So we have the mother that's torn the three sisters apart, have the three sisters arguing and bickering with each other, and we have don't understand why or what's going on. Have either one of you all tried asking her why would you want your children to not like each other and bicker with each other?
Well, me and Tisha, you know, tried talking to her, but that failed so miserably. So with my sisters, I understand where they come from. They're like whatever. You know, they deal with her the way they deal with her, and I just don't. And they respect that. They, you know, we've talked, and I let them know my reasons, and they respect my reasons.
Okay.
And that's, you know, we're on that, you know, that respect level.
Well, it sounds like you and your sisters are trying to get your relationships back together, and that's a great thing. It's awesome. Have y'all scheduled any FaceTime where y'all can get together, you know, to rekindle your relationship, to get back the way you all used to be? You know, I do understand you said Hope it was that lives in another state.
Yeah, Hope is in Brunswick, Georgia, and Tisha's here. I was just talking to Tisha yesterday. I'm supposed to get the kids, get my niece and nephew this weekend. So I'm about to have a house full of kids this weekend.
Well, that's good. That's good. It sounds like y'all are trying to mend that relationship back together. Now, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about as far as the family and bringing out the truth and putting the truth out there? Giving us the exclusive. Again, thank you.
You know, and it's sad to say for a daughter to have to witness something like this. But, and another reason why I just said I'm done, I walked in on my mother and my husband. They didn't know I was there. I didn't say anything, you know.
I hope you walked in on them talking.
Nah, they was talking all right, but it wasn't a conversation part. It was that grown folks talking. But throughout the years, you know, I dealt with it, and I never understood, you know, my two uncles, Uncle Jesse and Uncle Calvin, they seen it before I even saw it. And that's what really made me start paying attention to a lot of stuff, the relationship between my husband and my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And my Uncle Calvin and my Uncle Jesse both unquestioned. And it threw me to the loop. I was like, nah, you know, she wouldn't stoop that level. Until my husband put me out. The day he put me out, I snatched my daughter and I left. You ain't got to tell me twice, you know. My mother got in the car with me. By the time we got to the corner, she jumped out and went back to the house. And after, you know, I was furious, steaming. The whole argument, it was just sparked up over, she asked him for some money. He gave it to her, and he wanted me to pay him back for the money that she borrowed from him. And I just went off about it, you know. Every time she would ask him for something, I would have to pay for it. I don't care whether it's money, cigarettes, gas, I don't care what it is. Whatever she asks for, if he can provide it for her, he's going to get it to her, but I have to pay it back to him. Well, that day, I just wasn't doing it. I just got, I don't know what jumped inside me. It was just, nah, we ain't about to do that. So I snatched my daughter up and he told me to get out. I left. I totally forgot about grabbing clothes and stuff for her, for me, knowing I had to be to work the next day. So I'm telling me, okay, go back. I didn't see his car, so I'm thinking he left. This sucker guy, he moved his car. Went in the apartment and everything. They didn't hear me come in. And I go to our room and I hear them. You're the first to say, you know, go in there and go out. But I started thinking about it like, okay, where is my mama? I go outside, smoke a cigarette, come back in. See, I'm looking at me, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, really, that's the only thing. My daughter's face is what's really keeping me calm. And that's what really made me just grasp the stuff. I don't care whether it didn't matter whether it was matching or not. Just grasp the stuff and go. It took me 2 weeks for me to even go back into that apartment.
Wow.
And I just started paying attention to a lot of stuff. And that's what really, made me give up on my marriage. It's a hard thing to have this woman do the things she do and say the things she say to me, and then act like, I'm the problem. You want to cry and go to other people, and not only that, you using me and my daughter to borrow money. I didn't even much know she's borrowing from until, I call and check, how everybody's doing. And well, your mom called me and borrowed some money for you. Did you get it? What money? And I'm sitting here looking at it like, no. So it's
right.
So yeah, I've dealt with a lot. So therefore, I think I'm done. No strings, not even emotions. Not really a lot of emotions about it.
I can't even imagine in 1,000,001 years. I just can't imagine how you feel with your walking and knowing that catching your mom and your husband together. Oh my goodness. You handled that very well. And I am so glad Tiana was there, because I feel like if she wasn't there, you wouldn't be on the show today. What you think, Tika?
I'm gonna tell you, I agree. I know I wouldn't. If it wasn't for my daughter, I know I wouldn't. That little girl there, that's my blessing. He allowed me to be a mother one more time. And every time
I think that everybody gets to a place where they have a saving grace, and they're like, they're like, oh wow, this is it. This is, the thing or the person who was sent to me, and that they were sent to you to help you get through or anything like that. So it is good that you have that relationship with your daughter, as she's coming up, and you're teaching her different things, and talking to her about realistic things such as family. And not all of our experiences are great, so it's good for you to have her and look at her and say, I'm going to raise her, and I'm going to do it better.
I just want her to grow up and see, no matter whether you're male or female, that strength comes from inner. You have to be strong enough to say, I'm going to do this. I'm ready for it. Keep going.
And again, I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that, because me personally, I think I would. I think I would have lost my everlasting mind. I really do. I think I would have lost my mind, but I would have found it by putting my foot in somebody's ass. Mama or not, she would have been some chick on the street, but I would have got to him first. But both of them.
Eventually, she's getting up in age.
I understand that both of them grown and they did what they wanted to do, but at the end of the day, it's respect. That's your mama. You know what I'm saying? My mama, though.
The realization of that, Deacon, she stopped being my mother a long time. It's just I was the one that had to come to terms with it, really. There's no mother in this world that would ever treat their daughter the way my mother treated her.
I beg to differ. We'll save that for another show. I beg to differ.
Well, you know what? You're right. A real parent would never treat their child the way that this woman has treated a real parent. So again, she stopped being my mother a long time ago. I just had to come to grips.
So I can relate. I can definitely relate. But Dana, I want to thank you again for coming on the show and sharing your story and giving Sipping with Maria and Tika G the exclusive. I really appreciate that. Tika, is there anything else that you want to talk to Dana about before we end the show?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for finishing up in part 2 and talking about your experience once again and showing how strong you are. And I'm sure our listeners appreciate it as well. So don't forget, listeners, comment and ask questions, because I know a lot of people are going through things with their families.
Indeed. Again, thank you for listening to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. We are looking for guests to be on the show. If you are interested, you may leave us a voicemail or fill out a guest request on our website at www.sippingwithmaria3TikaG.com. To leave a voicemail, please click on the microphone in the lower right-hand corner. Remember, our podcast is unscripted. You will laugh, you may cry, but you won't be disappointed. Season 1 playing now, and listen to episodes 1 through 8 now of Season 2 every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.